Danielle Davis, and I read, write, and roller skate in Los Angeles. Welcome to this writer's life where we peek into process. This episode is called Small Story, Big Problem, and my hope is that that is what you're going to write. So let's start with the first part, the small story. I would love it if you would imagine a very small place, and that place is where your story can take place, and also think about what small characters might live in that small place. So you might pause this video and brainstorm some ideas for small or tiny places. Some examples of small or tiny places for your small story could be a leaf where an insect lives, or a desk drawer where little objects like pencils and paper clips live. The inside of a clock is a small place. A petri dish is a small place. A dollhouse, a Lego town, a bird's nest, and the eggs or birds who live in that bird's nest. So once you've decided on your setting for your small story, then you can go a little deeper and just imagine it. What would it be like to be one of those small or tiny characters living in that small place? And you can think about sensory details, right? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it sound like in that small place? Now remember, this is called Small Story, Big Problem. So the next part of this activity is to think of a problem that your main character could have in this small place. And problem is the conflict. So what kind of problem would your character have in this small place? Let's say it's a paperclip in a desk drawer. What problem might they have? What problem might a Lego puppy in a Lego town have? What problem might an insect who lives on a leaf have? To further help you with this, I want to give you a possible first line for your story if you would like to use it. So this could be a jumping off point for your story. Here's what it is, and you can fill in the blanks. So you'll fill in your character name and the small place. Character may have been small and lived in a small place, but they had a big problem. For example, paperclip may have been small and lived in a small desk drawer, but they had a big problem. Or Lego puppy may have been small and lived in a small Lego town, but they had a big problem. So if you want to, there's your first line. You can fill in the blanks, and then you go on and describe what is the problem exactly that that character is having. There's one more fun thing that I wanted to suggest as well. Since this is a small story, what if you wrote it on a big piece of paper? So maybe you already have a piece of poster board or a big piece of paper at your home, and if not, then you could take a bunch of pieces of printer paper or notebook paper, put them together with tape or glue or staples, and make a big piece of paper. Then you might want to draw your small place in the middle of that paper and then write your story all around it. So I hope that you have fun doing this and writing your own small story with a big problem. And of course, there's a PDF in the show notes to help you along and to use as a template. Thank you so much for spending this time with me here on This Writer's Life. I hope that you'll subscribe and join me for future episodes. Parents and educators, please visit my website where you can sign up for my newsletter. And that way you can get every new episode delivered right to your inbox, along with a corresponding PDF if there is one.
CO. Traci Sorell here. CO is how we say hi in Cherokee. I'm the author of We Are Grateful, Ojali Haliga, At the Mountain's Base. This is a nonfiction picture book, a fiction picture book, and I'm the co-author of a middle grade novel called Indian No More with my friend Charlene Welling McManus. You know, when we write stories or we draw pictures, maybe we create a comic, we create funny lyrics to a song. We enjoy that process, but it can be scary to share that with others. And so what I want to talk with you about today is that is an important part of being an artist. Even though it makes us feel a little vulnerable, it's also kind of exciting because When we share our work with other people, and I share mine with other writers, I'm looking for their feedback. And I have to be, specific and explicit about what I'm looking for from them. So sometimes I know that a certain section's not working, and that's really what I want them to focus on. Sometimes I want to make sure that what I'm communicating throughout the entire piece is clear. So they're able to highlight, with a star or an exclamation or a heart, whatever it is that's working for them. But then they're also able to ask me questions about what I might mean in a certain section. And maybe I know what I'm writing and you know what you're creating, but someone else might not. And so even if we feel a little uncomfortable about that, it's super important because it helps us think about what is really integral to the story, what is really essential, what's important that needs to be in there. And sometimes when I'm reading through that feedback, I'll think, that isn't really critical, is it? And it's kind of taking my reader, off into another place, and I want them to stick to this main storyline. So sharing our work with others can seem a little scary, but it's important to do so. And if you want to have it published someday or you want to share it with others, once that work goes out into the world, other people are going to comment on it. And just as we know when we pick up and read a book or we hear a song, some of those things are for us and we love them, and some of them aren't. And that's okay, because there are books for everyone, there are songs for everyone. But that's just part of the process, is that other people are going to comment on our work. But it's up to us to know what is essential for us to have in that story or in that painting or in that song. So I hope that as you create, especially when we're all, working to take time in our lives to make art, to create stories, that you will not be concerned about having other people look at it, because it is an important part of the process and it makes your work stronger. So I look forward to seeing all that you will do and create and share with the world. Wado, thank you.